finally got my breath back. And, of course, we just climbed back up on top of the mountain, cut another vine, and went swinging again.
Well, back in Ohio, Cleveland, we had a cemetery that is huge now, but they had grapevines, and there's kids. Our neighborhood kids would go back in there and cut a vine and smoke them, when I was 16 and 15. And I was like, the hell you guys smoking grapevines? But actually, they were pretty good to smoke. I mean, they were, and it was back then, the testing of acid.
We didn't have to smoke. We had the real cigarettes back then.
Well, you guys used to chew tobacco too. Your dad did. And I don't know about you.
No, we got it from Grandpa. He would call us down. Hey, Dougie, what? He says, can you go to the store for me? Okay. And he gave me some money. He said, I just want a pack of Pall Malls and you can have the rest. I'd haul ass up to the store. That was an Ott's store right there.
Right. Yeah, Ott's was right there.
I'd say, my grandpa wants 2 packs of Pall Mall.
I know that.
So we'd get him 2 packs. I'd spice some candy with the rest. Come back and give him 1 pack like he asked for, and take off down the joint with the rest.
I didn't know that you smoked cigarettes. Wow.
Hell, I've been smoking since I was a little kid.
Wow, but I didn't know that you even smoked back then. Sneaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But
we used to try to smoke those. You remember that old catalpa tree that was out in front of Grandma's house?
The what tree?
That catalpa tree right there by the road in front of her house.
Okay.
That big tree. It's got those long cigar things like on.
Oh, my gosh.
We tried smoking them. That was shit, man.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Tasted like crap.
Now, if your parents would have ever caught you smoking, what would have happened?
He did catch me smoking.
Your dad did?
He made me sit down in front of him, and he lit up a damn big old cigar. He said, "Now sit there and smoke the whole thing." And I sat there and I smoked the whole thing. Of course, I got feeling green, but I smoked it.
That's what I
went back to cigarettes.
That's what I miss the most about the older generation, because if they caught you, you pay the price. Yeah, you want to smoke one of these, or a pipe. I tried a pipe one time when I was younger.
I remember that old house on Eraser Street many times, because when I was growing up there, they put me in the yard. I'd take off. All right. Well, they built a fence around the yard. Mom would come out, and I'd be gone. So she said, well, one day she took some clothes on, and she tied around my waist, tied the other end around the tree. She'd give me plenty of room to run, but I couldn't leave the yard. Well, she looked out there, and there's the rope laying there. I tied the rope, got out of that, climbed the fence, and I was gone. I
don't ever remember a fence being there, but
they never could keep me in the yard. So Daddy finally took the fence down. He said, there's no sense having a fence so they can't keep me in it.
So this was like one of those old wooden type fences, but I don't remember a fence ever being there. But that
it was like a chicken wire fence or something. He just stuck some posts in the ground, but it never did work for me. And I'm going down over at Bell's right across from us there on the other side of the driveway. So I sliced my hand open from my little finger all the way to my wrist. I got the scar here now. And I remember them carrying me up the stairs. I come running up with Joe. Not Joe, but his name was Joe. Come running up the stairs, and my dad, he's got his hand wide open. Her daddy grabbed me up and carried me to the sink. And he run that water till it slowed down some. He took a whole bottle of thiolate and poured on it.
Ooh.
And all I remember was going out. woke up on her couch. Hand was all wrapped up. You better get home and tell your mama about this so she can get you to the doctor. Okay. I got home. What did you do to your hand? Oh, I scratched it real good, and they just bandaged it up just in case, you know. She never did see it. Until a couple of days later, this Bill called. What did the doctor say about Doug's hand? What do you mean? What did the doctor say? Well, didn't he tell you? She said, yeah, he told me he just scratched it. She said he cut that thing wide open. Before she come in, she was taking that bandage off. By that time, it done closed up. Just, you know, healing up good. And, well, I got my ass chewed out. But never did. Went to the doctor.
Never went to the doctor either?
No, she just kept doctoring it up. It was good. And I was down, you know, Levi was her mama's second cousin. So he was my uncle, really, and whatever. And I'd get down there helping him haul hay and stuff. We were in the barn one day, and this idiot in front of me, he was throwing the hay up to me, and I stowed it up to the next kid. You know, he paid us for working out there.
Yeah, not much. How much did you get paid?
Hell, back then it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But somebody hollered, and I turned around and looked, and that kid had thrown the fork. That pitchfork he had was sailing straight at me. And I threw my arm up, and the pitchfork went through my arm.
Oh, wow.
And I cussed him out. And, of course, everybody was coming up, and I just yanked the fork out. And I could look through my arm. There was a hole there. And the funny part about it, there was no blood. He had missed every single vessel. And when I was looking through, there was clear liquid coming out. I said, see, I don't have no damn blood. And, of course, once I yanked that fork out and that wind went through there, oh, I was getting lightheaded, you know. So they wrapped it up, told me to go home. I went home. What'd you do to your arm? Oh, I scratched it real good. Oh, God. And that was it. You know, kept going on with it. Well, I never went to the doctor unless I had to.
Well, it's funny that you said that because I was hopping over a fence in Brook Park, and my leg got a piece of metal in the side of my leg that I still got a scar through. But you're just like with you, it had a big wound in there, but it didn't shoot out no blood or nothing. And I never even told my mom and dad that. I was afraid because going to the hospital and stuff. But there's still a scar there that's healed, but you could tell that there was damage to that area of, I guess it's like the fat area of your, your lower thigh thing. But yeah.
Well, it's John in the goat hole. We used to call Nutsy, but a bunch of us kids down in the woods up there. The Guzos playing around, had BB guns and stuff. And I remember sitting there. It looked like everything was in slow motion. I could see this round baby. It's like it was coming at me just in slow motion. And it hit me right dead in the eye. And that eye swelled shut. And I was afraid to tell him about, to go home and tell Dad Mom got shot in the eye as a baby. Because I could, pull it open and I could still see, of course, everything was kind of blurry. And the bad part about it, this was the day before deer season. and it was supposed to be my first hunt.
Whoa.
I come home, and Dad seen that eye. He said, "What happened?" I said, "Oh, that crazy." I forget what the kid's name was. I said, "He pulled the lid back, smacked me right in the eye." Yeah, lied again. I didn't want to tell him. And he said, "Well, if that eye is still swelled shut tomorrow, you are not going hunting."
Oh, wow.
So I laid there in bed that night. You know how you take your fingers and you hold your eye open?
Yeah.
I had pulled that eye open, and I laid there all night with that eye pulled open. And I'd turn it loose, and then I got where I could open and close it, and I'd hold it some more. Got up next morning, come in. He said, "Well," I looked at him and opened that eye wide. I said, "See, it's working." So I got to go hunting.
Speaking about hunting, I'll never forget the time where you brought out your rifle. Okay, I don't know what kind of rifle it was, but you and Dad, and you were kneeled down with a gunshot in your shoulder, And I remember asking, "Hey, could I take a shot?" And I'll never forget the kick from that goddamn gun. I'll never forget it, man. I thought I busted my shoulder, dude.
It was a 16 gauge shot there.
Yeah, I thought I busted my shoulder because you and Dad and everybody else stood around lapping the behinds off,
Well, but, sure. We knew what was going to happen because you never shot one before.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's talking about that first time he shot my 16 gauge when we were kids. We all got together. He wanted to shoot it, so we took him out back.
Yep.
His daddies, my dad, and they was all standing there laughing. He said it felt like a mule kicked his damn self. Hey, we had a lot of fun, done a lot of stupid stuff and got away with it.
Yeah. So anyways, Thelma said that you tried calling to see about the spread that Debbie was going to pay for over the casket, and your sister still haven't returned a phone call. What's up with that?
Well, I don't know. She asked me if she wanted to pay for it. And, of course, I talked to them. Well, they wanted to pick it out because she was just going to order it online, pay for it and everything.
Okay.
But they wanted to pick one out. Well, Linda did, really. And I said, "Okay, go ahead." And Debbie called me back. She said, "They are going to send you the bill for that, aren't they?" Because she was, going to pay the bill. Because Linda was going to put it on her card and then send me the thing for it, the bill. And then I was going to give it to Debbie, and she was going to send Linda the $200 for it, to pay for it. And Debbie asked me about. I did talk to her right after the funeral, and she asked me, said, "Was Debbie still going to pay for it?" I said, "Yes." She told me, "If you send me the bill, we'll take care of it." So I ain't been able to talk to them since. Huh. They said been up at Mom's house because they only had 2 weeks from the time she passed away to get everything out of the house or out of that apartment. So they may have been up there working. I don't know, but I've called them last night late. Still ain't got no answer. I left Debbie a message. I said, "I guess you're mad at me. You ain't never called me back." And I hung up.
Huh. Well, because I tried calling Debbie's. I left a message. And then I tried calling Linda's, and, I didn't realize that they had 2 weeks to clean it out. But because Angela was looking at online for the spreads of over the casket thing. And how much did you say some of them spreads of over the casket was? 200 to what? To like thousands of dollars for those spreads.
Yeah, well, this one was 200 and stuff.
Okay. Well, then what I suggest you do is unless Debbie really wants the bill, I don't know why, but maybe for a deduction, but
she met Mom a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And so she got to know the family real good. She carried us up there several times and carried us to Canada and all around the world, So.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that, I remember you went down and visit my mom and dad too, but you and Delma, but, what I was going to say is just send them the $200 and say, or maybe another 100 more, but that's about it. But say that this is for the bill, because it's going to go on Linda's card, but I don't know why they can't return your call. I mean, me, I can understand. I always felt even the cousins that are back in Ohio, that are on my mom's side, not hardly any of them associate with me, even through mine. Even Jason really doesn't associate too much with me. Him and Hannah, they post pictures and stuff, but Dean and Hannah's pregnancy now with the new baby.
Well, they were like this even when Mom was alive. They never answered their damn phones.
Huh.
And I've told them many times, well, why in the world you got a phone if you ain't going to answer it? Mama answered every time I call.
Yep, the same way with me. Yep, that's why I got a recording, and I'm going to put that recording and a lot of other things together for you guys, and send it to you and Della. And I was going to send one to Debbie and Linda too, but I still have the thing where I record most of my conversations, and I'll let you know right now you're being recorded. But and I do that because the memories of hearing your voice and hearing Aunt Jean's voice and hearing my mother, even though if you listen to my mother's conversations, you and Della would really crack up. But yeah, I just want to die. I just want to die. But
yeah.
And then your mom, the last one that I talked to your mom was in like November, and your mom's final thing was that I just wish that she said I've had a prayer with God saying I just wish you would hurry up this process. But like I tried to tell your mother, he has a plan for everybody when he's ready to have you. But so
yeah, I've got 3 pictures right here. One of Mom and Dad by Clear Creek, standing there by that tree, and I got one with Debbie, Linda, Mom, and May. That was at Dad's funeral.
And then I sent you that corrected Christmas card of your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the picture of then and now. And
we were home, so we got a picture of all of them sitting, and I'm standing behind them, sitting out there in the yard. So we got 3 pictures of all of them here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of the album, but I do have where I can see. And there's a picture sitting over here, me and Dad. They wanted us to put some clothes on and get our picture made. And, okay. Well, Dad come out with his blue jeans and
shirt and hat and suspenders, yeah.
And suspenders. All right. I came out of my room. I had blue jeans, a red short sleeve shirt, just like his. And they said, damn, you two look so much alike. And so we got a picture of both of us just about alike sitting there. You can't tell us apart,
Can you do me a favor? Can I get a copy of that?
Well, I can try to.
Well, you can take it probably.
Walmart might
and and I'll pay for it. I'll pay you back for whatever it costs you. Just let me know. I'll send you the money.
It's your dad.
And but I want it because I want to scan it into my computer and then put it to this stuff that I'm putting together for you guys. And but yeah, Doug, I'm telling you, the best times of my life as a kid was going back there. I got a picture of me and Debbie from when we were little kids sitting on a swing, and I even posted it on Facebook so that Jason could see it. And he typed in there, ha, 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 ha. And I said, yeah, that's me and your mother. And I said, it's nice to see your family before you were even thought about, your mom. And I said, but Debbie always had a doll in her arms, and or if it was not that, horses. And then Linda, I still don't know whatever Linda did with all her Elvis collection stuff, because I never got to see it. And I don't even know between Debbie and her horses and Linda and her Elvis collection, living, what they do, sleep together in the same room? But where in the hell did they have all that stuff in the room? I was never in their room.
Debbie and her horses, there was another thing that when I went up and Debbie had that horse, I said, can I ride it? She says, well, you know how to ride? I said, yeah, I can ride. And so she saddled it up, and I come back and the saddle was loose. So I flipped the stirrup up. I said, who in the hell taught you how to fasten this saddle on here? She had the cinch pulled up and it was tied in a knot. I said, Debbie, you don't do it like that. And I took it loose and I pulled that cinch tight. I said, now watch. And I just went around, looped it and pulled it tight. I said, that's all you got to do. She said, well, gee, that was simple. And so I rode her horse all around. But she said, I didn't know you could ride. I said, I've been riding since I was little.
Did you end up riding it though?
Huh?
Did you end up riding it?
Yeah. But there was a whole bunch of stuff I remember being stupid and young. I remember one Halloween that Johnny and old Guzzo and a bunch of us got together. We were out up there by the grocery store. You had the road split right there. We won both sides of the grocery store. The one on the main drag had a steep bank. We were laying there. We were kind of throwing eggs and junk, cars would come by. I found this hula hoop. You remember the old cop cars that had that big old round dome on top?
Right.
Man, we heard this car coming, and I did, without looking, just slung it up there, and we heard brakes squealing. And we all stuck our head up over the bank. And, man, I made a perfect cast, and there was that hula hoop around that dome on the cop car. We hauled ass out of there. We ain't never done that again.
Yeah, and I can remember Grandma getting a cab to the house when she worked for Dr. Katz, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she worked for the Katz family.
Yeah, we kept looking for her to leave out. Every time she'd leave to go to bingo, we'd sneak down to Grandpa's because he always fixes hot chocolate and cheese sandwiches.
Really?
Toasted cheese sandwiches and hot chocolate.
Grandpa calls one? Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Grandma would go up that road, we'd watch. She'd get out of sight, and okay, we can go. Three of us would run down to Grandpa Carl and say, okay, we're ready for some hot chocolate and toasted cheese sandwiches. And he'd fix us a bunch of it,
Wow.
We had little things like that we look forward to,
Hey, by the way, did your mom, I know Grandma had one, did you guys have a ringer washer too, like Grandma had?
Yep, she pulled in the kitchen, had that big old tub of water. I'd have to help her with it sometimes.
Huh.
But she'd wash that old wringer, she'd wring them clothes out and hang them on the line, because I remember in the wintertime helping her take them off the line. Them sheets she could carry, they'd be so stiff. And she said, all right, let's fold it. You could hear the ice cracking and stuff. But it always surprised me that when you folded them up like that and you brought them in the house, they were bone dry.
Huh. See, I wish I had the video. I know there's a video, but I don't know if your mom has it or if my Dad has it, or if Grandpa Ted had it. But I know there's an old 8mm film of Grandpa Ted and my sister dancing in your guys' house. And because your mom, didn't she have one of those little organ things there in the house? I thought she had like a little organ thing. So
I think it was a piano.
Yeah, or a piano, whatever it was. And I can remember them playing a thing. And Grandma Zoe had a piano too, but it was all as old as Grandma Zoe. But what I don't understand is in Grandpa Carl's house is why we were never allowed to sleep upstairs. You know, I mean, when we were visiting,
it was haunted.
It was haunted up there?
Yep. I did stay up there one night, and you could hear footsteps going down the hall to where the bathroom is. There was a door that opened up that went to the attic. And I sat there one night in that bedroom right next to it. You heard steps going the hallway. You heard that door squeaked when it opened up. It was a long, tall, skinny door where the ladder was behind it. You'd hear that thing squeaking, and the door opening up there on the top, and somebody walking the attic. And then it wasn't long, you'd hear them walking back and closing that door, coming down, closing the door to the ladder, and walking out the hall again.
Huh.
And I got brave one day. I said, I want to see what's up there. And I opened that thing up, and I climbed up in the attic.
Really?
But I couldn't see nothing up there.
Huh.
And so I was chasing that ghost.
Huh.
I never saw a thing.
Well, I went upstairs. I won't forget. I don't know if Grandma was home at the time, if she was maybe down at Dr. Katz's or whatever, but I said, I want to see what's up this stairs, So I like
bedrooms upstairs.
Yeah, I know. She had those bedrooms up there, and then there was even a bathtub. And I was like, I couldn't believe that we had a bath in the kitchen area. Like
it's too much for them to heat. They didn't want to heat the whole house. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I understand. Yeah.
They had those 2 bedrooms downstairs, the living room and the kitchen and all that. And that's mainly what they lived in.
And then I won't forget the time that your dad, my dad, and I don't know if anybody else helped him, because your dad was always a very gifted person to put in a commode. And I'll never forget when they put the commode in that front bedroom, I'm putting that commode in. And then obviously there's the memories of painting the car that I don't know.
Well, you don't remember half that stuff that was going on back there, because I remember going out in the damn snow, going down to Grandpa Carl, using that old outhouse that set out behind their house, because we didn't have a bathroom in our house. And we had to go out there and freeze our dick and ass off, sitting there taking a crap with the wind blowing through them cracks. And hot damn, that was a cold place.
Wow. You guys didn't have a bathroom up there?
No, and we would come back in, and you'd stand by the old stove to warm up. And then we'd come home one day, and Dad was building a room on the side of our bedroom there. We couldn't figure out what he was doing. And then Mama did say that he was building a bathroom.
Huh.
Well, we got home from school one day. Lord and behold, there's a commode in there and a bathtub. We had indoor plumbing.
Wow.
And that was, I remember, our first bathroom.
Wow. And what age would you say you was at that time? You remember?
Oh, God, I was just little, man.
Oh, really? Huh.
In grade school,
Huh.
But I remember, even on weekends, we looked forward to Dad coming in. He'd stop down at Yurko's ice cream down in the East End there, West End rather, and he'd go in, he'd buy ice cream and comic book and bring them home. Well, the cover of the comic book would be cut in half. And he'd bring it home. We would eat ice cream and read comic books and listen to the radio every Friday. We looked forward to that. And but he took the comic books back when we got done Monday. And he'd carry them back and turn them in. And then the next Friday, he would come back with more. Because what the deal was, you paid for the comic books one time. And then when you got done reading them, you could bring them back and trade them for a new comic book and bring them home. We read them, he'd take them back. And that was an every Friday thing, we looked forward to. So you only bought the books one time. But you can't find no place in now to do that. And, I remember a whole lot of junk. Talk to me while I still got my mind.
Yeah, that's why now you understand why I like to try to record conversations, because it brings back a lot of memories, and top of that, even like with you, until you lose your mind and you can't think about it no more, so
yeah, because I remember Linda and I coming in from school one evening, walked into the living room. Holy shit, we got a TV. One of them old round TVs sitting there in the living room. We had our first television. And I think that was about close to the time the man went to the moon, was the first man we put in space. We watched it going off and all that. So we were uptown. Up until that point, we had to go over to Bales on Saturday and watch all this continued westerns and stuff and spend half a day over there, because all the kids in the neighborhood would gather up and go to old Bales over there. We would watch TV.
Huh.
And that was his sister that I got caught with that day. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. We were out there behind the school, and her brother come out. And, all right, you two, he said, get your damn clothes on and get home. So, see, I started early.
Yeah, see, this is a memory.
I'm still trying to go,
Yeah, see, that's the memories that I love, man. Just, God, I wish. In the softball games that we used to play in the back down there, behind whose house was that big field?
Let's see.
Yeah, you had
We're Hudson Riders.
Hudson Riders?
Yeah.
Yeah, big old field, and we used to go down there and play softball, the kids. Mm-hmm. Yep, those were the days.
We played football there, too.
Yeah.
All year, it was tackle football. We didn't have pads and helmets and all that. We just played rough football,
Right.
We didn't do that pussy stuff of touching and pulling the flag. Hell no. You put the sucker on the ground.
Yep.
But no, we had a lot of memories. And we used to sit there in our living room and watch out that window we had back towards Smith's Field there, and the deer would be all up on that hillside, and they'd come down right to the window. We'd sit there and watch them.
Huh.
And you could see deer out there anytime. That's why I loved hunting up there, because Dad and I could just take our gun and walk out behind the house. Hell, we could rabbit hunt, deer hunt. I used to go up by where Johnny is up there on top of that ridge. Hell, I'd go squirrel hunting by myself, deer hunting.
Huh.
Yeah, you could just walk out of your house and go hunting,
Wow.
We've got deer here now in our yard to come in, but my neighbor won't let me shoot them, damn it.
Back then, you didn't need a permit to shoot deer either, did you?
Well, you needed one, but it was different. It was a big square hunting license. It had to be fastened in the middle of your back. And you didn't have to wear all that hunter orange and red and all that crap. But you'd just have it on like a huge pin that would hold it on your back. And that's all you wore.
Huh.
You were allowed one buck and one doe. And see, down here, we're allowed 6 deer. You're allowed 2 bucks and 4 does, or 6 doe, or, 1 buck and 5 does, or as long as you get 6 deer and no more than 2 bucks.
Huh.
Hell, I didn't know what all this was back then when I was growing up. When you had muzzle loading and bow seasons and all that. Matter of fact, our hunting season's still going to the end of this month. And we start out in September.
Yeah, but you need a big freezer if you're going to go out for wild game like that. You almost need a... Oh, okay.
We got a big chest type sits right here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it's got deer meat in it.
Now, do you and Thelma got one of those grinders where you grind it up too for like ground meat and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the grinder. We can grind it up. Coarse or real fine, whatever you want. I've got the vacuum sealer that we do our own cleaning. We'll cut, take the deer, we'll cut all that shit off. So that you got nothing but red meat. We'll vacuum seal up steaks and stuff, and do the same with the hamburger once we grind it, and then put it in them bags, vacuum seal it up, put it in the freezer. That way it lasts, several years. If you don't, it's only good for about like a year. But if you vacuum seal it and take all the air out, it lasts a lot longer. So, but it mainly lasts us a year. We'll eat on it now till the next hunting season, then we'll start rolling it up again.
Huh.
But shoot, we use deer meat for hamburger and that hamburger helper and stuff. And we'll cook some up and just sit around and snack on it. We eat deer.
Huh. So, all right. Well, I got to get going, but that's why I wanted to find out that address so I can look on Google Earth.
Fisher Street.
Yeah, and don't forget, let me know what little cost there is for that picture of you and your dad. I appreciate it.
What was your last address?
My last address?
When you were a kid.
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
No, when I was a little kid, before we moved to Brook Park. I mean, I can give you the address of Brook Park, but before that, we lived under. I'll never forget living under what we called the Carnegie Bridge, but I don't remember the address. I'll have to look up on the Google. But
well, see, I remember mine without looking up on Google. Boy, see, I'm older than you, but my brain's like a elephant. I don't forget.
Well,
my kids come and say, "Damn, you don't forget nothing."
Well, the thing is
except when I tell you something.
When I was born, I lived by Grandma and Grandpa over on Walton Avenue.
Yeah,
okay, there was a bakery across the
all summer out there.
There was a bakery across the street, and if you remember correctly, I don't know if you knew when I was a kid, but I had glasses, not glasses, but I had an eye operation. And I've got pictures of Grandpa holding me with a bandage around. So I lost a couple years of my life because I can't remember certain things.
I remember a lot of that.
Yeah, I was cross-sighted. And then Mom...
We didn't know which way you were looking.
I know, yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, people still make fun of me about that dog. Yeah, they go, are you looking at us or what? Like glasses, with wearing glasses.
Remember using glasses.
Yeah, glasses is, and then I hated losing my glasses because, man, I really got.
I got a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Before you get off here. Do you still drink tea the same way you used to?
Wait a minute, Angela. Can you sit mumble in a minute so I can hear this? What was the question again?
When you drink iced tea, do you still drink it like you used to?
With a lot of sugar, half sugar and half iced tea?
Well, I told him about that. I said, when I spent time out there, I said, he would take a glass of iced tea, but not stir it. He would just keep dumping sugar in it until it got sweet enough. There'd be about half iced tea and half sugar.
No, actually, now there, Mr. Douglas, I normally we buy Snapple iced tea at the store or Costco. So I don't, this has been a long time since I've done that. I can't even remember.
I just wondered if you still had that pound of sugar in there.
Ezra, can you remember dating me and me putting a lot of sugar in my iced tea? She said, yeah. I actually do 6 sugars on my coffee. We get coffee at McDonald's. I usually do 6 sugars.
Yeah, no, sugar used to be loose in the bowl, on that. You'd just be spooning it in. You'd drink a drink, and you'd spoon some more in, take a drink, spoon some more.
Angelina said that she can remember me putting a lot of sugar in my iced tea, so.
Yeah.
When she dated.
Why don't he just stir it up?
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
Well, you were kids. We were doing weird things,
Yeah. All right, bud.
Talk all day about the old days.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. But no, I don't. I very rarely, with me being on the diet that Angie got me on, I very rarely do a lot of sugar stuff. So.
Yeah, one day we'll have to talk. I got stories about taking kids out in the woods and leaving them overnight, scaring the hell out of them. Johnny and I'd be sitting at home. They thought we was out there lost. I got these good stories, I can tell you.
All right.
Give me a call when you can, man.
All right, I will. Talk to you later.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
requirements you have to have. So, the first requirement is Playboy bunnies need to be kept in a manner compatible to their needs, okay? And the dwelling should have no less than 30 rooms and have a staff of 4. That's that kind of butler, John. Okay? And the pool can be indoor or outdoor, but the jacuzzi has to be very close to the bedroom. Now, this is what John's application. John put down, oh, there's the light. Now, John put on his application, my sleeping bag's only been used twice, and for jacuzzi, I got a great hot water bottle. And as for domestic help, I've got a wife who does the work at 6 servants, and she works for peanuts.
The doctor yesterday, and they said that they did things for me yesterday. He's got several appointments. I have to go. I'm probably going to have a hearing aid.
Oh.
I have a hard time hearing. I was monkeying with a Q-tip in their ears because it was itching, and I damaged it. So I don't know. He's got several appointments. I have to go. I went yesterday, and he gave me a physical checkup and everything, and my weight is good, and everything seems to be fine, but I don't know. I have to wait and see.
Hey, real quick, here, somebody wants to say hi to you here.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too good, honey. I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm not doing too good. I have a hard time hearing because I ruined my ears.
Yeah.
I was picking with the toothpick, and because they were itching, and I damaged my ears.
Oh, no.
I probably have to see an ear doctor, and I probably will have to have a hearing aid.
Oh, no.
That's all you can do. Don't monkey with your ears. Don't ever monkey with your ears.
Yeah.
Don't monkey with anything. So how are you both doing?
We're doing good.
Oh, good. I pray for you all the time.
It was nice seeing you on the video.
Huh?
It was nice seeing you on the video.
I don't know. I miss you both. I pray for you all the time. I miss you both.
Yeah, we miss.
Maybe someday I'll be able to get there.
You can come anytime.
I cough all the time.
I'll give you back to
So
John.
how's Arizona?
It's good.
Ange?
It's good. Here, I'll give you John. Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, she's putting me back on the phone because we're eating breakfast right now. But so on the video, you kind of look like scared when Teddy opens up the door. You were cooking soup, and but you look scared. Like who's this coming? Like your vision's going too. And I asked Ted about Mom's vision. I said she looked scared, like she didn't recognize who you are, but.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know Teddy said he was taking a video of me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him what he's doing. He said I was taking that because John wants to see you.
No.
I would like to have a video of you and him.
Well, I'll get one for you, Mom. I'll put it together. I'll put it together for you. I can put you on the beginning so you can see yourself on the video, and I'll put it together for you and send it to you. But the thing is that.
Huh?
The thing is that
I miss you too, John.
Yeah,
I miss you again very much. I pray for you all the time.
Well, listen. I know you said in the video that you would like to go to Arizona, but Mom, you can come here, but we can try to find you maybe another cheaper way of living, but we don't have a house right now. If we can get a house, I have no problem of having you staying with us, Mom. I have no problem with you staying with me and Angelina. We've already talked about that. But I got to get a house. I mean, because I'm living upstairs in an apartment. So I have no problems with that. As a matter of fact, when Angelina's mom came out here, she came out with bad kidneys.
Oh, did she?
Mom, she died. listen. Yeah, listen. She came out with bad kidneys. She came out here with a bad heart. And back in Cleveland, they didn't even want to do surgery on Elena, because of the heart. But out here, the doctor said, "Oh, not a problem. We have no problem taking her in."
Yeah.
So.
Well, John, your mom is 90 years of age, so they don't want to do anything for me anyway. They don't want to do my needs, nothing. So I have to try to make the best of it I can.
Well, you said in the video that you were 109.
I was thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because I figured out I'm 99. I figured I was going 109 pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
God keeps me living. I don't know why. He just does.
Well, Mom, he probably doesn't have a place for grumpy people. Now, on the other hand, I know I'm breaking up because you're breaking up. On the other hand, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if Teddy told you or not, but Aunt Jean's not doing very well at all. Okay?
Oh.
Aunt Jean's kidneys shut down on her. She's in the hospital. And I haven't talked to Dougie, but I have talked to Jason, and because I can never get a hold of Debbie and Linda. But Teddy seems that he can, but I don't know why. But anyways, Jason asked me not to call the hospital because his grandmother's very tired, and I'm like, okay, I won't call the hospital. But anyways, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time for Mom. It's a matter of time for us all. Look at Angelina. I could have lost her when she was 40. When she was 40, she had that heart attack. I could have lost her then.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Debbie, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Is Debbie that sick?
No, Aunt Jean.
Huh?
Aunt
Jean?
Jean, yes.
Yeah, I know. She was sick once before. She came close to death once before. But evidently God's not ready to take her yet. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's preparing her table.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll come.
Yep.
I had a dream, John, that I died. I went to bed one night and I was hurting so bad. I prayed that God would take me. I had a dream that he did. And when I woke up in the morning, I was surprised to find me still here. I don't know. Not going on 90, and it is what you think it's going to be. Not for me, anyway. I try to do what I can, and that's all I can do. But I know it's coming. It's going to come for all of us eventually. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. When it comes, it comes. Like with your dad, he came to your dad that day. He just sat down and tried to not let me know that something was happening to him. He wanted me to go in and fix his lunch. And when a little voice came to me, forget the lunch, go out and check on your husband. I went out and your dad was sitting there. He was gone. And I called the paramedics, and they had him going, but by the time I got to the hospital and that, he was gone. He tried to shelter me from knowing that he would die. So it comes, John. There ain't nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
We love each other, and that's all we can do. We try to do the best we can. God knows one day he'll take you, and that's the way it is. So,
yep.
I'm so glad you called me. I have a hard time hearing those. That's taken me to. I got several doctor appointments. So, I'm keeping my weight good and everything, and so that's pretty good. My weight's pretty good. I'm lucky. I don't weigh very much, so that's good. I watch my weight and stuff. They said that my weight is I got to swim all the time. What did I say? My weight is 121. I'm 121 pounds.
Huh.
and my pulse was good, 99. So I do it pretty good.
99 pulse. What's your blood pressure?
I can't do.
What's your blood pressure?
I think they want. I got an section that they got to. I got to soak in bleach, and then I got to rinse. So Ted's going to have to help me with that. He has to do a lot of things. He has to put bleach in the water, and I have to have him wash my back, and then I got to put cream on it. I got a rash, and they're trying to clear it up.
What's your blood pressure? What is your blood pressure?
Huh?
What is your blood pressure?
Yeah. My blood pressure?
Yes.
My blood pressure is pretty good.
What?
Very good.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
I don't know. Wait a minute. The blood pressure is 151 over 78.
151 over 78?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it says anyway. Blood pressure. But now Teddy had to go to work today. I've got a rash on my back from this damn chair that I got, and they want me to put I can't do that by myself. They want to have add a cup of bleach to the water, chloride to the bathtub, full of water, soak for 10 to 15 minutes, and then apply the medication after rinsing off in the shower. Can repeat daily, just a few times per week as desired, because I got a rash on my back. I'm itching all the time, and I can't get in the bathtub by myself. So I have to wait till Teddy's got some time to do this for me. So he has to help me. And then I got to put cream on. Yesterday he took me to the doctor, and when he come home, he put the cream on me. I've got a rash, and I have to tell him tonight, you can't put the cream on me till I have the bath. I have to have the bath, wash me bath, and then put the cream on me. Teddy has to help me a lot. He's been pretty good at that. You just got to do it, that's all. Always something you have to do, right?
Yep.
Nothing you can do about it, John. Did he send you what I told him to send you?
No, what?
Huh?
No, what?
I just wondered. I got to know because I'm going to get after him. I told him I wanted him to send you something.
What, more money?
And he said he would do that, but he might have been busy and not able to do that. I want him to send you and Angie something.
What, more money?
And he said he would do that.
What, more money?
Oh, did he send you money?
No, I said what, more money?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I haven't gotten it. No, not at all.
Well, I'm glad you told me because I'm talking to him. He's supposed to send you money. I get from your dad, I get a certain amount of money from the steel mill.
Yeah.
So I got a pretty good check this last time, and I told him money's no good to me anymore. I can't go any place or do anything, and I told him to send you something.
Nope, he never did.
I'm going to get after him when he comes home tonight because he said he would do it for me. I told him he takes some and you take some. To send it. So
no, I'm telling you, we didn't, Mom, but I appreciate it. I said, no, I'm telling you, he didn't, but I appreciate it.
Well, that's all right. It's no good. Money's no good to me anymore, John. I can't do anything with it anyway. I can't go any place. I can't do anything. I have to pay my rent. That I have to do.
Now let me ask you this: how much was you planning on sending, so I can know? So I know.
Well, I told him whatever he thought to send, because I got what was it? I got from the steel mill, your father's money. I got $1,000 this year.
Wow. Okay.
I told him to send what he thinks he wants to send.
Okay.
Okay. He might send you $50 or $100. I don't know.
Okay, or nothing.
No, he better send something.
Okay.
I'm never talking to him. tonight. I told him I wanted him to send. I told him he could take what he wants. I don't need money. I already got my funeral paid for, John. Everything is paid for. I will be cremated. Everything is paid for. There won't have to be no paying for a funeral. Your father paid for his. He didn't tell me, and there were $500 he gave for his funeral, and all I had to do was pick out the casket. I didn't have to even think to do that. Kendra did that. She did that. She picked out the casket. All I could buy was the flowers for the casket. It was for Mary. I think it was for Mary. I couldn't pick out the casket for Mary. All I could do is put the flowers on her casket, on the top of the casket.
Huh.
Because Jerry gave everything to Kendra.
Yep.
For me. I had no say-so about my daughter.
Yep.
I did have about my husband. I paid for my. I took Teddy and we made the arrangements. The arrangements are being made. The arrangements was made with Teddy. He knows what has to be done. I will be cremated, John.
Yeah, I know, Mom. Yeah, I know that. We've heard that over and over and over. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, and I told Teddy I don't want no tears either. Be glad that I'm gone. I tried to be the best mother I could, and I hope I was. That's all I could do. I wanted it done, and he would do that. So, but I'm going to talk to him and tell him, why didn't you send your brother what I told you to send him? You come home tonight, and I'm going to tell him, I told you to send your brother some money.
Well,
whatever.
You never did, so I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me, because I want to know.
Well, Mom, I've been trying to call you for over a month. I've been trying to call you over a month. I mean, and every time I call, I told Ted, I said, and then Ted says she can't hear. Okay, she can't hear, but I'm very glad to be able to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I probably didn't hear the phone, Pat, John. I didn't hear the phone, probably. And you gave me your address and that, but I can't dial anymore. I just don't dial anymore.
Yeah.
Your mother's 89 years of age, and you just can't do the things I used to do. You're not that old yet. You wait. You see, it comes. You don't do what you want to do. I can't call. And I don't write either. I don't know. I don't know. I just really don't know why. I don't even, Ted's got the key to the apartment. I don't even get out of the apartment. He doesn't want me out because I can't hear. So he doesn't want me going around, walking down the hall because he doesn't want anybody to hurt me. He said, Mother, you don't need to be going out. You don't hear until we can see what we can do with the ears. You're not go out of the apartment. You stay in the apartment where you'll be safe.
Huh.
That's what I do. Because I don't hear that great. I monkeyed with my ears, which I don't ever do. My ears were itching me so bad I would monkey with them and I ruined them, I guess. So he's got several appointments he's taking me to. And I guess one of them is ear. I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'm going to let you go.
Okay, you and Ange have a good day, and I love you both, okay?
Okay, love you too.
God bless you, George. God
All
bless
right.
you and Ange. You take care, okay?
All right, love you.
Thanks for calling me. God bless you. Bye.
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 Okay, so today is November the 25th, 2013. I called one of my favorite aunts in Pennsylvania. She is ailing with some cancer liver issues, and I called to see how she was doing. So, for those of you that know Jean Allenbaugh, I'm only going to pass it around the family members, so that when she's ready and God's ready to take her to a better place, you guys can every once in a while refresh yourself with Jean Allenbaugh.
Well, how are you, Aunt Jean?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I'm doing all right, dear. Hanging in there.
Yeah. And
You guys?
well, I'm doing all right. You sound real haggard.
Well, I gotta admit, I'm not what I used to be.
Yeah, I know. We all ain't, huh?
I still have some ammonia in my lungs, and they're still treating me for heart congestion.
Yeah.
They said they couldn't do any more in the hospital, so they sent me home.
And what about that little event that your liver and stuff? What about that?
What about what, dear?
Your bile or your liver thing, or?
Oh, the cancer on the liver.
Yeah.
Well, it's hanging the same way, honey. It's
Yeah.
not grown any, so it's not spread. No. They told me just to watch for bleeding, for my skin and face and urine turning yellow, and for blood. So I have to just be on the lookout for those things.
Well, you said, time flies, and you're still writing, and you're still occupying your mind, and from what I heard.
Lord, I'm not writing anymore.
Oh, you're not? Oh.
No, not everybody says I should, but I'm just tired, and I don't feel up to it anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And you have a nurse? You have a nurse that comes in and takes care of you?
No. I have a housekeeper who comes in and does things. And the girls get my groceries and take me to the doctors when I have to go. Otherwise, I stay here in the house or in my apartment, doing what I can do.
Well, I've been chit-chatting with Jason on the internet and through that Facebook socialized network, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah, and he showed me a picture of you and Dean, or you reading to Dean, and all that stuff. So at least I get little updates from that, with Jason and that. But
yeah, they brought Dean in to see me last night. That's the first I've seen him for about a month now.
Yeah.
I don't see him very often anymore.
And then I was reminding Jason, I said, and Hannah, his wife, that I said, yeah, Jason used to love to run around with no shoes on his feet. And they said, yep, Dean's got the same thing. Doesn't like to wear shoes.
Well, I can't blame him. I don't either.
Really?
I never did. I always liked to be barefooted.
Really? I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I still go barefoot. Well, I wear those footies now,
Yeah.
Keep my feet warm because they get cold.
Yeah. Huh.
I still don't like shoes, though.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do a three-way with my mom to, oh, Mary, 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 but,
I just put a card in the mail for her, and I realized I put it in early for her birthday.
Well, that's okay. Better early than late, but that's...
I just wanted to write to her and see how she was,
Well, she's never going to change, Aunt Jean. She's not ever going to change.
No.
She's going to be the grumpy, my mother that she is. I love her, but she is my mother. But the thing is that she'll never change. She just thinks the world has been all wrong to her entire life. But
well, I figure she must be still in the same place. My mail don't come back.
yeah, she is.
So she's still in the same place.
Yeah, but Teddy said that it's going to come down to where she's so scared to take a shower, and then she knows that, and then she went into the shower and fell, and then she had to get out of the shower somehow, and then scream, and then somebody finally came and attended to her. But if you know you cannot be in a shower, why don't you wait until somebody tries to help? Now they're trying to get her into Teddy said he's trying to get her into assisting living. But you know what really makes me mad about this, Aunt Jean, is that I've had Mom. I told Mom, if you can get on a plane, you can come down here and stay with me and Angelina. You know, but she won't do that. She's
afraid to fly.
Well, I don't think it's just afraid of flying, but it's just, you know, the thing is there's no way I could travel back to get her and pick her up in a van, because the thing is that almost every, 10 miles, Mom would have to say, I have to use the bathroom, so that'd be one hell of a long trip. But, right. So the thing is that, but I really believe the weather down here would be better for her arthritic condition, but, she's going to stay. But Teddy says, but the only thing I hate about putting her in some kind of a nursing facility is that the next thing you know, she gets left behind. She gets left behind now because I even chew out my own children that live close by. And I'm like, why can't you go see your grandmother, But, if you don't have $1 million to some people, then the next thing you know, you can't buy love. And,
So. No, that don't work.
So.
Well, my girls are good to me. They do all they can. And when I was in the hospital, I asked them, I said, please don't come in. They had to walk to my room so far, both of them being, especially Linda being as sick as she is. Mm-hmm. I said, it's so hard on you girls. So I said, I might as well sit at home here as just sit there in the hospital,
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, I know I'm a stubborn old lady, but I said, I do want to try to do what I can. Yeah. I don't want to just sit in a chair the rest of my life.
Yeah, I know, Angie. I know.
I was wondering if she was able, if she read the book I sent her.
Now that I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I was going to call her tomorrow for Thanksgiving, but the thing is that she, like I said, how she's been all her life, so it's all about, and she wants to die, and I keep telling her, I said, Mom, you keep begging to die, but here's the thing about dying. When he's ready for your calling, he'll call you up. But I think you need to change. I think the reason he doesn't want you in heaven is he has a peaceful heaven, and he doesn't want grumpy people.
Well, I know. I said, God, I know I'm in your hands. I know you control my life, and I'm willing to wait. But could you please kind of speed it up a little bit?
Oh, gee.
That's my attitude.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, she was sitting, I'll tell you a funny thing. She was sitting one day playing with her cell phone, and I'm at work, and 3 times my caller ID at my cell phone comes up, Mom, Mom, Mom.
Uh-huh.
So I took a break, and I said, Mom, something going on? What's wrong? And she goes, why? I'm like, well, you showed up on my caller ID on my cell phone, and I'm at work. And she goes, I did call you? Well, I was sitting here playing with my cell phone buttons, and the way they have it set up, it must have called you. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong. And I'm like, Mom, why are you playing with the buttons on your cell phone? I'm like, that's only supposed to be used for your weekend. And I'm like, if you might end up calling China and not know it, so quit. She goes, well, when I go over to Teddy's place, Teddy's brother-in-law is sitting there pressing buttons, and his wife's pressing buttons on their phone. And I'm like, Mom, Michael could be doing emails. He could be chit-chatting with his friends because he doesn't like being in the presence of my brother and his sister, and he's ignoring their conversation. So I said, don't try to learn how to text a message at 89.
Oh, no. Well, I don't. I just have a regular phone, but I don't call unless I have to.
Right.
I have my telephone now. Angela's name came up on my TV screen.
Right.
I have my TV on, and when I have it on, whoever calls me, their name comes up on the screen. so I know ahead of time who's calling me, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I get advertisements and things, and I never answer. You know?
Yeah, I know. And
Saves a lot of trouble.
And then my cousin Debbie, if I ever get back to PA, I'm going to put my foot up her behind, because every time I call over there, and then Doug was telling me, they said, well, if you call Debbie, there's a special thing with you that I even have to call Debbie. And I'm like, and he goes, she's probably sitting out there watching the deer in the backyard or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, but, you know, she could, from what I understand, everybody's got that thing on their TV back there that she could at least pick up the phone, you know, but.
Yeah, she's a hard one to get a hold of, I'll tell you. Even sometimes she'll tell me to call her. If I call down, it goes to the answering service. But I try not to call them unless it's an emergency or something I have to call about, you know.
Yeah.
But Linda now, God bless her, she checks with me every day, sometimes twice a day. If she doesn't come over, she checks and makes sure. She goes out, she gets my groceries for me, and takes me mostly to all my appointments and things, you know.
Hey, can you do me one favor? When you do get to heaven, can you ask God why does elderly people shrink? because I can remember you being as huge as life, you know, like Pop, you know. And then I'm looking at some of the pictures that Jason posts, and it looks like, and just like my mom, it's like everybody starts shrinking when they get older. I don't get it.
Well, we're starting to lose some of our muscles and, you know, things like that. So I said, the doctor told me I'm losing height, I'm losing weight, I'm down to 120 pounds now. And I'm losing my hair. It's very, very thin. My eyesight's not as good. My hearing is not as good. And I said, I'm losing all of that stuff. And I said, I can't help any of it. Everybody says, oh, you're so thin and bony looking anymore, and we know you're losing weight. And I said, well, doctor says, eat. I said, I eat what I can.
Right.
Then he turns around and gives me lots of Lasix to take to keep the water off of my heart. So what am I supposed to do? But I know, I said, I understand, but I said the one good thing is my cancer is holding its own, so God's taking care of that too.
Yeah, yep.
So I appreciate everybody's prayers for that. So.
Yeah.
But I said, I know, I feel my life has served its purpose, and I just don't know why I'm here now.
Well, it's still, I guess he still has a purpose for you, Angie. I mean, you know.
Everybody tells me. I've had dear people in this building tell me they don't want me to go to a nursing home. They said if it comes a point where they think I have to, if Debbie and Linda can work out between them two and a couple other people to check in on me and help me. My cleaning lady, God bless her, said she'd come and stay at night with me. Just so I could stay here.
Yeah, well.
I said, well, I appreciate all that, but when it's my time, I'm more than ready to go.
Yeah.
I just hope it's quick.
Yeah.
Causing the girls lots of trouble.
Yep, just like with Pop, it was quick. Nobody could, you know. I've had, ever since Angelina's heart attack, just recently, she really gave me a scare. We were running to get a train. You know, Angelina's 46, so we're running to get a train, and she fell on the platform. And I'm in the doorway of the train trying to hold the train open. I look back, and she's on the ground, and I'm like, oh boy, you know. And I go back, and they're trying to help me help her stabilize herself, and she fell again. And I'm thinking, oh no, and they wanted to call the paramedics, and she rejected the paramedic thing, and I'm like, are you sure? And she wouldn't talk to me, and so I'm thinking, wow, is she like having a stroke and can't talk, you know? But she's been keeping, you know, her diet, she lost a lot of weight, she's exercised, you know, and she gave up smoking, you know, when she came out of the hospital. It was, well, 09, so it's been over 10 years now, well, almost 10. But, yeah, so, you know, the thing is that she's tried so hard, but I was scared because I was thinking, oh my gosh, here you go in a stroke victim now, you know, but she bruised her knees, and she's okay, she's back to being crabby, but we all, yeah, well, you know, and I understand, you know, with dealing with sick people because I dealt with my mom, you know. But I told Angela, I said, there's some times where, you know, we were climbing mountains, and she's like, no, I'm not going to play your game anymore. She goes, I'm afraid to fall again. And then her sister fell and tripped over her own feet and ended up, you know, with a lot of bone replacements and everything because she has the same kind of, like, disease that Angela has with the neuropathy, yeah, with the feet, diabetic feet thing. Yeah, right. So anyway, I can understand that because I'm afraid to fall. I don't want to break any more bones because, like, even Dougie tripped and fell and pulled the ligaments in his ankle and his foot. He's having trouble now, and I told him, I said, you're not young anymore. The next trip might be a broken hip. Yeah. And that's not fun. Why have you? Many of my friends have done that, you know. Yeah, yeah. And her mom did it too, so that's what she, you know, hip and knee and everything, whatever. Debbie needs to have surgery on her knee. I don't know. Can't talk her into it. Well, then, God bless her, they can't do anything for her. She just has to suffer, keep on doing what she's doing. Well, you know, here's another thing, Angie. I did studies with stem cells, but we can't afford it. And if the government would allow, back when Bush was president, if they would allow us to have our stem cell research, but I've had only one doctor tell me that if the government, we were allowed our stem cells, you have diabetes, stem cell it. You have heart disease, stem cell it. You have Parkinson's, stem cell it. I went, really? And he goes, yeah, but John, think about it. He goes, all the medical professions and pharmaceutical companies, they would be looking for jobs. He said, you'd have a massive unemployment. Right. So, but I wanted to call, and I understand by Jason, you're supposed to be over there for Thanksgiving, I guess. I hope you make it. He said he would come and carry me over if he had to. I said, no. I said, if I'm not really sick, I said, if something doesn't happen, I don't get sick. I never know when my heart's going to kick off, you know. And I said, I have to watch the weather. I'm not allowed out in cold, wet weather because of my heart and that. And I said, so unless it's bad weather or something happened, I said, I'll come to your house for Thanksgiving. But I told you, I said, I won't make promises. I'll do my best. But that's it. Well, I hope the Lord opens up and makes it a real nice day for you. Well, he's calling for 59, the weather people. Yeah. And sunshine, so. Well, I just go, you know, the old saying, we live one day at a time. I said, well, in my lifetime now, I'm down to 1 minute at a time. Oh. But I'm not morbid. I'm not. People said they don't understand why I'm so cheerful and smiling, and I said, well, I'm at peace. I really am, John. I made up my mind. My life is good as far as I'm concerned. God's taking care of me and watching me, so what else could I do? Yep, you've made every moment of it, you made every hour of it, and I tried to do what I thought was best. Try to love people and take care of them. And yep, You've been a saint.
I just got money in the mail today from a lady at church. She got a book off of me. Well, actually, I gave it to Linda, and Linda took it to church, and she bought a book off of me, my last book that I'm selling here. And I just got money from her today, and she said how much she enjoyed it, and she's so happy that I can write those stories. So, I make people feel good about themselves, so what more can I ask?
Yeah, you've done it all, Angie, even from a book.
Yeah. So, you take care of yourselves.
All right. Nice chatting with you.
For you every day.
As a matter of fact, I told Jason, I said, I remember when Angie and Grandma used to send Christmas cookies together for us kids. Yeah. So
I can't even bake anymore.
yeah, and I still miss the Rice Krispie and date balls.
Yeah. Well, you'll just have to learn to make those. Like CJ told Linda, gee, Grandma can't make me my coleslaw anymore. I said, see, he's going to have to learn to make it himself.
Yeah. All right. All right. So God bless. Hello?
Bye-bye, dear.
Okay, bye-bye.
Smoke the dead last cigarette, remembering what you said.
Okay, so we were out here with the home inspector, our realtor Matt, and then this is a better view of daytime of the master bedroom. And then this is the old person's shower that even has a handrail on it. And this is our shower in the master. And then a soaking tub for after all my hard labor out in the day of the yard. And our miniature indoor swimming pool. This is a double sink master bedroom. And then the master head or Mrs. Head. And huh?
I said it's a pretty roomy closet.
Pretty roomy closet. Is there lights in here? Yeah. No lights. Huh. What is this? Hey, Matt. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Hey, what's this plug over here for, Matt? Or I plug it in and find out it blows up or something. Here's our master closet. There's a plug on here. Is that for like the ADT thing or something? Or
Yeah.
is that what that is?
Yeah, that's for that. It's power. Brinks. Yeah, that's the power that runs to that.
Okay, so we'll have to call.
Yeah, it was probably deep, and so they unplugged it.
Okay. And then we got another guest bedroom.
A lot of doors. All those, cabinets in here.
Storage there.
You got all this in here even? Look at this.
Yeah, but that would be for like our towels and stuff, right?
Sheets, towels,
Yeah,
blankets.
blankets.
It's a lot of fun. You got a closet right here. Coats or whatever.
Our guest bathroom and shower. See, I don't smell anything in here, but you do.
Just a little bit.
But
it might be because of those old curtains or something.
our guest closet. What was in this one? Oh, hot closet or guest hang up cloak closet. And then it's got our washer and dryer.
The washer and dryer look pretty good too.
Angelina's got an ironing board, but she says she has one. Didn't know that when we first saw this ironing board on the wall will come over the washer dryer. And then we go out to the garage where I guess some of this stuff is going to be leaving the garage. They left like tile stuff and everything, so this is a water softener, Angelina? That was what Matt said? Got to put tablets in here. And you got to keep it filled with salt tablets for water softener. This is a garage refrigerator that's a mystery, whether it's going to go or stay. We'd rather have it stay because Angelina and I thought about putting up a little water thing for her water anyways. But yeah, if you got... Was that you banging? Oh, okay.
It must have left like a piece of candy in there or something that dried up. I'll have to wash that out.
There was what?
Like a piece of candy or something that left in there. Let's see, because I got to wash it out.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to wash it out. No big deal. Thanks.
Okay.
The washer's clean.
Okay. And what kind of a washer is this?
Kenmore.
Kenmore? Okay. Sears?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is our Brinks home security system that is not connected yet. So we'll have to call Brinks up, see if we want to pay for that.
Yeah, those three.
This is our living room.
Those three I'm waiting on. So, all right, let me give you a call when I get done with this. I'm doing a walkthrough after home inspection. I'll call you later.
And this is going to go. It's not staying. And out to the front door. And Angelina, can you do me a favor? Why don't you go ring the doorbell again, because I want to get it on. And then we got our electric dishwasher. Yeah, I want you to ring the doorbell. Like, come on in, come home.
You're weird.
I know. It's open. Come on in. Going out the back patio that you guys seen. It's got a back patio. It's got some pots around still for Angelina to be creative for painting. And I guess some of this stuff's going to go, or we'll have to get rid of it on the day. I don't know if that's going to stay. Probably not. And then here's our backyard. Huge backyard with desert flower plants. Very huge backyard. I don't even know if they're going to leave the hoses. But huge backyard. It backs up to an open fence where technically people can peekaboo, make sure you're pertaining to your HOA agreement. And then there's a children's play area over here. All right, let's release Matt so we can go sell some more homes to people. Because his wife wants some more expensive roses.
We don't do Valentine's Day.
You know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. On your little bit of Facebook page that you got, she looks a lot than when I met her on person. She looks a lot like I realized she was a mom look that day because of the game.
Yeah.
But she just like she looked really really good. And she's
got two appearances. She's got the dressing up, going out, and she's got the mom. I think that picture you saw is probably us at a wedding. Or
yeah, you guys are going out somewhere. Yeah, you was all decked up. She was all decked up. There's another pot. With an American flag. How about that? And a welcome mat. And then we got talk to Brinks Security about the and this is our frontage plants with these little things when you light them up at night. We'll find out when we get to spend our first night in here. But this kind of gravel here prevents a lot of weedage, so even though you'll still get them, but so anyways. Well, that ends the tour of 5717 WT Ryan. And come on down. Have a visit. Stay with us for a week or so. This was another non-project of not calling somebody out. This is what I'm speaking of when you talk about being a homeowner. And these here had candy in the inside of here. So as you can see, the inside is now completely clean of the dryer. But what I had to do was to take these out. I had to take off, open up the lid, and then I had to take out the dryer vent, 2 screws there. I had to take all this off, open this up, and down below, and I'm not going to do it right now in a short video, I can't think, it's early in the morning, but the tub itself has screws on these, on the tub. So we had to take all the screws off on the other side, and Angela cleaned the inside here, and we've used this Dew Gun to clean the candy stuff off. In the process of that, my body weight now broke this little door that I got to work on today. But this is for people that don't have the patience, don't have the time, because this took pretty intense day yesterday. And we have no pool, but here's a view out of the backyard from inside of the master. And you can see that the mountains are like over here. And then this here cactus, I know you guys heard of the Stairway to Heaven, but I don't know what I'm going to have to do with that, because technically you're not supposed to have anything 6 feet bothering your neighbors. So, but the weed guy came yesterday. We have some weeds showing out over here and along here. Now, he told me that after he sprayed it, that all I need to do is technically go out there in a week or two and just rake them out. Angelina's got a self-cleaning oven, so we cleaned off the oven, and as you can see, it's ready to rock and roll.